Hi students, welcome back to geology. Continuing on our investigation of minerals, we're going to look at how do minerals form. So in the last video, we learned what minerals were, what makes a mineral a mineral. Now we're going to look at how minerals form. Okay, so where, as you ponder this, think about in your notes, where and how do minerals actually form in nature? Okay. So minerals can form from three basic ways. So they form when these atoms that I talked about in the previous video bond together to create this crystalline arrangement. Sometimes they're known as crystalline lattices or crystal lattices, and we'll talk about that in one of the next videos as well. So the most common formation way of forming a mineral that people think about is magma. So lava or magma cooling and creating these crystals. There's a couple of different ways outside of just crystallization of magma with a temperature change. That would be precipitation from an aqueous solution and biological precipitation by the action of organisms. So the first one we're going to look at is precipitation from an aqueous solution. This is something that you can see happening in your house. So certain solutions or water contains different solvents, so it contains different minerals. And when precipitation occurs and dehydration happens or evaporation happens, things are left behind. So like on your shower heads, on your faucets, maybe on your glass shower door, you see mineral deposits left behind. We call that hard water deposits a lot of the time, and that is minerals being left behind after the water has evaporated. Okay, this also happens naturally. So if we're looking at like a lake that is evaporating, it will leave behind some of the salts. So an example here would be like the Great Salt Lake. There's a concentration of sodium chloride and other salts that is nearly 8 times greater than in the world's oceans. And so we see the precipitation of salt as the water evaporates. And so this is a form of precipitation from an aqueous solution to form a mineral. And then, like I said, crystallization from magma. Heat energy comes from atoms, causes atoms and substances to vibrate, and the temperature changes what's happening in the earth. And so crystals can form when that magma either solidifies underground and cools, or it erupts out of a volcano and cools at the surface, and then crystals can form there. And we'll talk about big crystals versus small crystals and where they come from in these settings. But magma is essentially just molten rock with free moving ions and things moving around, chemicals moving around. They're finding bonds, they're forming crystalline lattices, and then eventually when it cools, those crystals form. And then the last one here is precipitation by organisms. So when organisms have bones or shells or some other hard part, those are made up of some sort of material. Most commonly, especially in the marine environment, is calcium carbonate. There's also silica shells, which help form what we call chert. So it just depends on what the organism was made of. When they die, they fall to the ocean floor, they accumulate, they become sediments, eventually can become something like limestone, and they can also crystallize into chert, or they can crystallize into calcite. All right, your final thoughts for your notes. Minerals are derived from 3 basic ways. We have precipitation from aqueous solution, in addition to that, evaporation down there, magma, organisms, and then in your notes, I want you to list which environment would form minerals from water, a magma chamber, or a hot spring, and why. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.